Now let's discuss some strategies for managing compassion fatigue. While there is a great deal of secondary traumatic stress inherent in animal protection work, how we are able to cope with it, move on from it, and find meaning depends on our reaction. When confronted with danger, either real or perceived, the body goes into a state of fight or flight designed to protect us. This involves physiological changes, including muscle tension, racing thoughts, increased heart rate, rapid shallow breathing. The problem is that the fight or flight system was really only designed to be engaged for short bursts of time. But sometimes when we work in highly stressful environments, the system can almost become stuck or constantly engaged. How we react to, say, a customer yelling at us or witnessing animal abuse is somewhat dependent on our past experiences. Now, while that customer berating us or bearing witness to an animal's trauma is no doubt painful, the reality is we are actually not in danger, and so the fight or flight system being engaged is actually not serving us. In fact, it can end up harming us. When the fight or flight system stays on for too long, it can lead to health problems such as increased risk for anxiety, depression, and even heart disease. Professional maturation is the ability to reduce that perceived threat response and can really make all the difference in whether or not your career with animals will be sustainable or lead to burnout. Just as the body has a built-in alarm system for protecting us from danger, we also have the ability to turn that alarm off or trigger a relaxation response. We'll take a look at these more in depth in future courses, but the following is a list of self-regulation and relaxation skills to have in your self-care toolbox. Now, these should be used both proactively and reactively, in other words, to prevent the body from going into fight or flight or to snap itself out once it's engaged. The body scan, for example, can be used anytime, anywhere. You simply close your eyes and do a mental scan from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet, and simply notice as you go down the body, are any of my muscles tense or tight? If so, simply allow them to soften. Again, unless you are in real danger, there's no reasons for your muscles to be tense. Consciously making an effort to keep your muscles soften will help to keep you self-regulated. Slow, deep breathing, meditation, massage, practicing mindfulness or yoga, simple stretching, guided imagery or meditation, or progressive muscle relaxation are all great examples of mind-body techniques to keep you relaxed and self-regulated throughout your day. Having a regular, ongoing self-care routine is crucial for managing compassion fatigue. Now, it's important that self-care is not viewed as a luxury or an indulgence as much as it's a necessity or non-negotiable, just like brushing your teeth. Self-care is what helps us to build resiliency. It helps us to relax and recharge. We wouldn't expect our cars to go without gas or an electric charge, so why should we expect the same from our bodies? Some examples of self-care could include regular exercise. It's actually the number one thing we can do to help reduce anxiety, depression, and stress. Good nutrition also plays a vital role in our mood. Healthy sleep habits, setting boundaries, creative expressions such as music or art, outdoor recreation, having hobbies outside of animal care, having a religious or spiritual practice can sometimes help us to stay grounded, and professional development throughout our career can help us stay confident and engaged in our work. Another pillar in the management of compassion fatigue is connection and support. This could look like family, friends, coworkers, or fellow volunteers who are supportive and non-judgmental. You might find support in the form of a therapist or support group, and if you do decide to seek your own personal therapy, you might want to find a counselor who is specifically trained in trauma as they generally are better equipped to hold that space for you and self regulate themselves in order for you to speak freely and to help you explore and ultimately heal from your own trauma. And finally, please remember that no matter how hard it gets, there's always someone to talk to. Especially if you are feeling suicidal, you can always call or text the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline at 988. So, although this work can be painful, try to notice and celebrate those little victories throughout your day. As long as you work with animals, compassion fatigue is something you'll always need to be mindful of and always have to work hard to manage. The good news is that as we become more able to go throughout the day self-regulated instead of dysregulated, proactive instead of reactive, and resilient instead of suffering, our passion, purpose, and our meaning begin to return. This is what we call compassion satisfaction, and it's one of the greatest buffers against compassion fatigue. Now is a great time to pause this course and download the self-care plan. In this activity, you'll first identify the aspects of self-care that you think you're doing well right now. Then you'll pick one aspect that maybe you're not currently doing or not doing enough of. Practice incorporating that into your life until it becomes a habit. Again, just like brushing your teeth. Continue to add other aspects to your self-care routine as you go along.